Okay, all right. I was waiting for a cue from the IT team. Thank you so much. Well, good evening, good evening. But I'm also what's the word I'm looking for? I also realize I've got people who are tuned in this evening who probably it's not the evening on your end. We've got good morning, we've got good afternoon. So, hello to you wherever you're tuned in this evening, be it on the radio or on Facebook or on YouTube or via Twitter. Ah, welcome to the Greystone Show. And I want to give a shout out. Okay. All right, and I want to give a shout out to everyone who's on Facebook as well. If you've got a Facebook account, please by all means go on Facebook and type in Global Word Network or Global Net TV, and you can join us live. I always say that ideas or yes are not in the head of one person. Two heads are better than one. You never know. You might have tips that you can share with us that would be equally be a blessing onto someone, in as much as we're going to have a guest who's also going to come on and share ideas with us. And so before we go into our show today, the title for our show for today is Mindset. We are talking on mindsets. Can you believe we are in the fourth month? And so more than the first quarter of the year is already gone. So if you say four, you divide it by three of these, and the year 2023 is come to an end. The question is, did you have, when we start the year or on the 31st, people write their resolutions, they write things they want to achieve. Have you been able to achieve at least a quarter of that? So we're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to go on a quick music break for about 5 minutes. And when we come back, yes, but please, while we're going on the music break, please don't forget, share. Tell someone that the Greystone Show has started. It's going to be very interesting, very informative today. If you're someone that struggles with getting things done, you definitely want to tune in today. Share the link with someone, and I'll see you in 5.
Your love is kind. Your love is patient. You fill my heart with so much peace and joy. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Your love is kind. Your love is patient. You fill my heart with so much peace and joy. All your promises are yes, and amen. You're not a man, you never lie. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh. Oh, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh. Excess love, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Your love for me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Too much, oh, Jesus, you love me, oh. That you gave your life for me. What manner of love is this? What manner of love is this that you give it all for me, oh God? Jesus, you love me. You love me. Too much, oh. You love me. Thank you for loving me too much. Thank you for loving me too much. Thank you for loving me too much. You love me too much.
Indeed, we thank God for loving us too much. Too much, too much, too much. It is His love that has brought us thus this far. And Greystone Show, where we say that family lives and love grows. We just want to tell God that we're grateful and we're thankful. All right. Now, again, like I said in the beginning, before we went on our music break, we're talking about mindset today. And this is something that is very, very essential for growth. And like I said in our slogan, that's what we say, that the Greystone Show is a home where family does live and love grows. Not just love, but all the areas of your life you grow as well. That's how you're called a graced home. Now, Bruce Lee, who we all know, the famous actor, he said this, and I'm going to quote him. So I'll read it. He said that instead of buying all the gifts you never had, he was talking about your children, you should teach them all the things you never taught. He said material wears out, but knowledge, he said what? It stays. And that's what we're going to be learning today, knowledge, wisdom on how our mindsets can affect us, maybe in a good way, maybe in a bad way. In the beginning, I asked, are you one who had plans for the year? You wrote your plans down that this and this is what I wanted to achieve. My question is, have you been able to achieve at least a quarter of them? If you have, fantastic, well done. And if you don't mind sharing, how you were able to do it with us, we would also learn from you. It's all your comments and your suggestions are always welcome. But if you're one who has struggled with even accomplishing even one out of all that you wrote, you are in the right place today. So please, again, share. Invite someone, tell them, come and let's listen to this and let's grow in all areas of our lives. Now, with me today to talk on this topic is our guest for today. He's a science teacher at a secondary school in London. And he's one who was also nominated as the best support staff in 2021 for the Islington Educational Awards. Now, this is someone who was being in the education, should I call it industry or field? And he's someone who's got a lot of knowledge when it comes to children, seeing them with the type of mindsets they have and how it affects them. And this was why I thought he was one of the best people that we could speak to this about. And I know for sure as well that he's also done this course on this very topic. And so he has got a lot of knowledge that he's going to be sharing with us. He's also a husband and he's a father of two. With us tonight is Mr. Samuel Owusu.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Excellent.
can. Yes, I
Very
can.
good.
Yes, I can.
Thank you for having me this afternoon, wherever you may be. We thank God for your life. Once again, thank you for listening to the Grace Home Show. And I am sure that today's topic, what we're going to talk about, will have a positive impact in your personal life. And also you extend it to the people that you are in contact with, including your family. And also it will be something new that perhaps you have never thought about it. And I am sure, Lauren, you're doing such a wonderful job. And I hope that your Grace Home Show, at some point, I will recommend you to be given a PhD award in that. What an excellent stuff that you've been doing.
Praise the Lord, amen to that.
Though you are not seeing that, I'm sure the good Lord is looking at the effort that you're putting in. You can see wherever you are, you try to make that necessary effort to at least impact some knowledge to people in their lives as well. Thank you.
I am, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So we're going to go straight in. So I've been using that word over and over to this evening, and I've been talking about mindset. If one should ask, okay, so what is a mindset or where do they come from? What would you say to them?
Okay. Well, mindset, actually, the word mindset came from a psychologist, someone called Carol Dweck. And she was in Stanford University, a psychologist who introduced to the public about a book called Mindset, The New Psychology to Success. She actually did a research onto how people think about progress, development. So she uses a class, and then he split the class into two to have a different thought about how people make progress. I'm not going to go into details about how the research went on, but what a definition for mindset is saying that is that the way of thinking or a mental attitude. Here, I want us to make notice of this keyword, mental attitude. But I put it as a combination of your beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and attitudes. Now, these are not just your conscious thoughts and beliefs, but also what is in your subconscious. Okay? For example, how you view yourself, your place in the world, and the world around you. Now, which means it determines your decision choices and actions, including how you relate to others and deal with stressful situations. So it's a lot of things here that we need to consider. And you might not see it as a very big issue, but this is something that is hidden. But today, like Lauren said, we are going to dig deep, and then hopefully it will have some positive impact in your life.
Oh, okay. So your mindset is your attitude towards. So basically, if I want to put it together, someone's beliefs and the attitude towards situations, you would call it their mindset.
Yes, mental
Okay.
attitude. The key word, the
Okay.
mental attitude.
Okay. Okay. And when we talk about mindset, I don't know if it's just me, but I think, do we have different types of mindsets, you would say?
Yes, we have two types of mindset. Research identifies two types of mindset. One is called the growth mindset, and then the other one is the a fixed mindset. Now, there's a distinct difference between these two. I will probably go into a bit more details about what a growth mindset is, and then what a fixed mindset is. So, for example, let's look at a fixed mindset. In my opinion, takes on a pessimistic tone. Okay, so a person with a fixed mindset believes that intelligence or change is nearly impossible, and growth is not an option. So if you have someone like that, you can clearly see that there's no progress. Okay, now with this mindset, you place a lid on your growth. So even if you have a deep desire or a set goal you want to achieve, your mindset will tell you, hey, who do you think you are? You are not going anywhere because you don't have the skills and abilities. Now, this is a typical example of someone with a fixed mindset. Now, you could also, think about career change and then supporting your child in education. For example, you probably have decided to have a career change. Let's say you want to become maybe a nurse, and you are maybe interested in the job, and your position now, you've been dreaming of pursuing some other career development or going to maybe university to acquire the skills and then the degree, but you keep on saying this, but you are not making the effort. That means you put your mindset on that. Now, even look at our children in education. We sometimes say that, oh, this is maths. I can't do maths. My family, we are not good in maths. So obviously, I have no chance of maybe supporting you. That is something that you are impacting in your children. And also, if you are not careful, it could eat into their mind, and then they will develop that kind of attitude. Like I said, the mental attitude. My parents.
Hold on, yeah. So are you trying to say that if a parent has got a fixed mindset, so if I understand what you're trying to say, or maybe I cut in too early, you're trying to say that a fixed mindset is someone who's kind of thinks, oh, this is where my mind is. It can't go above this. So this is the only space that I work in, and I can't go this way and I can't go that way. And as a parent, if you've got a fixed mindset, you could actually transfer that to your kids by the way that you think, or by the way that you act, or maybe by the words that you speak. It kind of transfers onto them. Like, okay, my mom says she couldn't do this, and so I can't do it either.
Very good. So these are some of the things that if you look deep, we dig into that, it will come up how these can impact others if you associate yourself with people like that. And I'm just going to give you typical examples of differences between growth and then fixed mindsets. For example, someone with a fixed mindset, they will avoid challenges. They don't want to face any challenge. They want an easy way. I know everybody wants easy way, but they don't want a challenge that can lead to progress or development.
The fixed mindset.
Fixed mindset. Now, if you compare that to a growth mindset, they embraces these challenges. Okay. And another point is, with the fixed mindset, they also gives in when they come up against hardship. So when they come up against hardship, they give in. But with a growth mindset, they persevere. In spite of all the failure, they persevere. And then also with the fixed mindset, they also believe that intelligence, like I said before, and skills are something that you are born with, and can't develop. I mean, that can link to where I talked about the child in education. So they believe that these are something that you are born with and you cannot develop, which is very, very wrong. And with someone with a growth mindset, they believe that intelligence or skills can be increased. Okay. And if you also look at other examples here that I'm going to maybe talk more about, is that those with fixed mindset, they are threatened by the success of others. So when they see somebody is making progress, they are threatened by that. But with somebody who you can see that is very, very strong in terms of growth, they're inspired and motivated by the success of others. Okay? And they also want to learn. Unlike a fixed mindset, they know everything already. But that is not the case with someone with a growth mindset. They want to learn. And then lastly, I can say that someone with a fixed mindset will ignore or dismiss its criticisms, while somebody with a growth mindset will accept, embraces the criticisms. That is why we have feedback. Sometimes when you buy stuff in a shop, oh, can you give a feedback on my cost, on the customer services or the product? These are all the things that they use to develop their product. They develop the services. So you need to have something we call feedback. You need to be criticized for you to grow. If you avoid these things, you will be stagnant. You cannot make a progress. I think that is clear. I've given a lot of examples on that, unless maybe
you have. Yeah. The reason why I kind of smiled is, okay, so like, I don't know if they do it in this country, obviously, because in Ghana, when you go to school and at the end of the term, when they give you your exams results, there's this little bit at the end where they call remarks, where the teacher will write certain things about you, things that they thought, you did wrong, or things you could improve, or sometimes even things you did well. So you're saying that someone who has a growth mindset, you should be open to someone criticizing you and telling you, okay, you didn't do that right, or you did that well, and next time what to do to grow on what you already have. Excellent. If you are someone who accepts those types of criticism, then you have a growth mindset. But if you are someone who is like, you think I can do no fault, what I've done is perfect, don't tell me I'm wrong, you have a fixed mindset.
And then I mean, I just want to add to what you said in terms of our schools in Ghana. Similarly, we have the same thing in UK here. For example, in our school, we have something we call feedback policy. Every assessment that we do, regardless of your year group, we do a feedback. Now, the feedback highlights the areas that you didn't do well, and then what you can do to improve that. Now, with these, the children are learning. They are improving on their grades. They are improving on the knowledge that you are impacting on them. Now, if we decided to close the feedback and we just mark it and give it to them, how will they make progress? How will they develop the knowledge? How will they develop the skill if they are doing a PE, or maybe they are doing a cooking, or maybe a technology course? So feedback and criticisms are really important to improve our skills and the knowledge. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going through something here. It's okay. So let's say this show we're doing, and I remember I was speaking to I think it was a family member anyway, and the person, what is my next step? Mama Marilyn, good evening. Sorry, Mr. Usu. We have people engaging on here. Thank you so much, everyone on Facebook. And please, I know I can see there's loads of us who are not on as well. So please definitely do share, invite them, and tell them to come on, because I believe this will really help someone, to know where they are and what they need to do, how to shift things around. Mama Kata, Reverend Dr. Her Excellency, I salute you, the CEO of GlobalNet TV. Thank you so much. I can see Mama Patience from Ghana. She was the very first one to join on, and she was saying, share. Please definitely do share the page for us, the link for us as well, and invite someone. And don't forget, please go on GlobalNet TV and like and subscribe to the page, and on YouTube as well for us. We'll be very grateful. Mama Elizabeth Amwaku said, good evening. Good evening to you too, Mummy. And I can see Mama Marilyn Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. Mama Marilyn said, "What is my next step?" Oh, I'm okay. So I'm assuming, Mommy, you're asking if someone has got a fixed mindset, what is the next thing to do? All right. Well, definitely gonna go. You've got definitely. That's one of my questions I will be asking. But Mr. Also, I wanted to ask you this, and then we'll come to that question. You being a teacher and seeing so many kids, so I'm a parent. I've got kids, or I'm a grandparent, and I've got my grandkids. You know, the kids are on break now. Well, in some countries, and I've got them living with me. How do I know? I know you've given us examples, but could you again, kind of stress on it? How do you as a teacher realize that this child has got a fixed mindset and I need to do something about it? Or how can I as a parent or a grandparent know that this grandchild or this child of mine has got a fixed mindset when it comes to learning? Because you know what, I would definitely say I is one of the things I had, especially when it comes to this subject called maths. I told myself right from the beginning, for a young age, I don't know where I heard that from, but it registered in my head. And so I told myself I didn't even try. So what you're saying, I can definitely identify with it, where I told myself, hey, Charlie, maths is too hard. Plus, I want to go into media. What do I even need maths for anyway? This is what I told myself. And so for me, definitely, if you're talking about fixed mindset, I had it when it comes to maths. I told myself I can't do it, so I wouldn't even try, and I didn't. And I had a very beautiful E in maths. And but now, I'm not gonna. My daughter started saying the same thing, but thank God, I don't know what it was, but I said to her, hey, my friend, no, 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 you are not going to repeat the same thing I did. Because I realized that I put myself in a box, and I had that definitely fixed mindset, and I couldn't break out of it. You are not going to repeat the same thing. And thank God she did. She broke out of it, and she's really good in maths. Now, how would a parent look at a child, the way they are learning, and go, this child has got a fixed mindset and I need to, do something about it? How you as a teacher, how do you identify kids like that and help them?
Very good question in terms of what we are talking about right now. If you call someone in education that you are looking at their progress and they have this kind of situation, like a fixed mindset, you can clearly see in terms of progress report that they get from school, behavior report as well that they get from school. If he's making progress, you can clearly see the signs there. I mean, if it's a fixed mindset, it's something that is linked with academic, or is it behavioral? So if it's academic and the student have got a need, then it's something that you need to factor that into consideration, because some needs can result in the student not making progress, and therefore they will have a fixed mindset. So we got to be careful when we are trying to challenge students or children in terms of pushing them to have a growth mindset. So you need to identify those needs. And when I talk about needs, so children can have social, emotional needs. Perhaps maybe we don't have that in Ghana, but here in other developed countries, some children might have it very difficult in socializing and then emotionally when they come into contact with people. And this can affect their progress academically. But there are help there for you to see that. So if you have a child who haven't got these kind of needs, some of them could be maybe just attitude to learning, behavior. They kind of don't have the attitude to learn. And there are things that you can do, and there are some of the things that you can clearly see is that there's no progress. There's no changes in the behavior. You get called from school all the time. These are the things that you can see in terms of your child in school. And that person might not be challenged and always in their comfort zone. So if you have a person with a fixed mindset, these are the symptoms that you can clearly see. But for someone with a growth mindset, I mean, like I said, I would like to put it here like a spiritual growth mindset. You will see things like God talk. When I say God talk, like that person is speaking to God words. He speak about God's goodness. And then something we call faith, like living by faith. They think by faith. They pray and plan by faith. These are the things that you can distinguish between a fixed mindset and then a growth mindset. I'm trying to make this broad in terms of differentiating the symptoms here. So, or the signs you see when somebody has got a fixed mindset and then a growth mindset. And also you can see the one with a growth mindset have a lot of focus. Now, if they focus their eyes reverted on God and his will, at all the time. And then also they always have thankfulness. They're thanking God for what he has done for them. Okay, even whether it's very hard times or difficult times, good times. And they always have joy, okay, enjoying life, and then work with God, and then as God has provided for them. And then also seeking God, in good times and then in bad times. And then
Okay.
prayers. So people with growth mindset, these are some of the signs that you see that they are making progress. Praying through struggles, progress, setbacks, trials, and blessings. So there's a clear distinctions for you to see the
Wow.
signs between a fixed mindset and then a growth mindset here. And
No, hold on. So, Mr. Uso, are you saying that to identify that a kid has a fixed mindset, the kind of is not just, the behavioral where they can either learn from parents, but actually there's a spiritual aspect to it as well? Because if I'm hearing you well, you're saying that a kid who has a growth type of mindset. So let's say, you ask them, can you do this? They say, maybe it's too hard, but I know I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I'm going to try. When you hear a kid talk like that, they've got a growth mindset.
Excellent. That could be something that has been worked hard from home. So this is something as a parent you impact on these children.
Yeah.
Now, we are talking about, let's say, children who are at maybe secondary or maybe 18 and above, or let's say teenagers. For a kid who is actually from year 1 or nursery, they are actually developing their mind. So these things are very difficult for you to distinguish, right? But for children who have learned, they know the good and then the bad, you need to start right from the beginning about these signs of a positive or spiritual growth mindset. And for example, if you have a kid who is in year 1 or maybe in the nursery, how will he distinguish that there's a fire here and there's no fire here? Their mind is too young, they are still developing. So at this level, it's very difficult for you to, implement a stress that you need to have a growth mindset. It will be too much for them. But those who have developed a well mind and are learning a concept of developing themselves, their, let's say, cognitive ability. When I talk about cognitive, I'm talking about how to learn, how to process mathematical, language and English literacy. So these are the things that you start to work on if you have a child at that level. So we have to be careful, again, like I said, if the child has got a need. And like I said,
identify what the need is.
A need is. So not every child you can impose on that growth mindset. You can make a growth mindset with a child with a need, but it has to be a small steps, not massive progress. Even we adults who we want to sometimes make a maximum progress in life, there are setbacks. Growth doesn't go straight. It has to be steps, one at a time, slow. As long as you are making progress, and as long as you are facing the challenges and you are correcting yourself, reflecting on them, and then getting the positive criticisms to make you grow, then you can see that we are making the progress.
Okay, so I think I'm going to bring in Mama Marilyn's question now, and her question was, so what's the next step if you've got a child, if you've got a relative you live with, if your partner, you realize they've got a fixed mindset? How do you move them from fixed mindset to a growth mindset?
Very good. I mean, like I said, from the beginning, you need to understand where you are. First, you determine where you sit now. So, for example, are you in a growth mindset or are you in a fixed mindset? Now, the first thing is that person has already identified that maybe he's now in a fixed mindset. That is a first step that you've taken. And that is really good, because sometimes people don't know that they are in a fixed or growth mindset. From the beginning, when I said that, they believe that they know everything already. So that mindset has put you down, that you don't want to learn. But now you identifying that you know where you are is a key step number one. There are a lot of ways, but I'm going to put on 3 key steps here that you can look at that. One is where I said you identify where you are now. And then number 2, I would say explore why you want to develop growth mindset. Example, what benefit does it bring to you? What do you want to have that mindset? Do you want to develop it to support your family? Do you want it for your personal development? to maybe increase your financial standing or to impact other people's that are linked to you. So that is where you need to look at. It's not just, okay, I need a growth mindset just for that, but you need to look where you are, the purpose of it. So explore both areas. And then finally, you find examples of others who have might have gone through this experience, so that you can take a valuable insight of how they did it. And people can be an inspiration to you, those who have gone through challenges, through maybe the process you want to go through. And that reminds me of one family friend I know who had what do you call it? They migrated to the UK here a long time ago. When they came in, the wife is is a nurse from Ghana, but it's not, when you come from a third world country to UK, you need to go through another process. She wanted to be a midwife, and when she came here, she hasn't got the necessary requirement to become a midwife, so she needs to start from the scratch. I would say the grades that he had from Ghana here is not the same as what they required here. So these ladies were told that she needs to do a GCSE maths and then biology. Can you believe somebody who's young or very old at that time? How am I going to do GCSE maths and then biology? My children have already been doing those things, and how am I going to go back and do that? So that woman gets shattered. The dream was like, no, it's no way I can do this. This is so hard for me. So my friend just called me and said, look, friend, I have got my wife, and this is the problem that we have. Can we help me with maybe somebody who can provide with tuition to at least start from somewhere? And that is the first step. First step the man took. The wife find it hard to adapt to these changes that is coming on her way, to develop the ability to get to where she wants. So, I mean, I have to speak to her as well. And finally, she admitted that, okay, I have to start from here. And that is also first step for her to take the admission. So she did the first exams. She didn't do well. She broke down. And actually, she wasn't that far off getting the pass mark. So we encourage her and say, look, this is part of the growth mindset. There will be setbacks, but how you reflect on it, get back on your feet and then move forward, that tells you that you want it. So she then started again, intensive, worked so hard. And guess what? Now she's doing a midwifery course at Middlesex University.
Wow.
So that is something that you can take. There's nothing too hard for God to do. And I don't want to talk too much. I'll just let you continue with it.
Okay. I have a question here. I'm going to read. Thank you so much. Mama Marilyn's really engaging us tonight. Mama Marilyn said, what about a 7-year-old? Okay, what about a 7-year-old a 7-year-old who's in year 3, who never wants to get anything incorrectly? Mental maths 14 to 15 worries him. So that's the question. She's asking, what's the next step for a 7-year-old who's in year 3? Am I right? A 7-year-old will be in year 3, who never wants to get anything incorrect. Okay, and so incorrectly, their mental maths is a 14 to 15. Mental maths 14 minus 15 worries them. How do you help that kid to break out of that fixed mindset? So do you kind of understand that the kid is 7, they're in year 3? I don't know if I got it right. Yeah, if he gets 14 out of 15, he cries. Oh, wow. Okay, I get it now. Do you understand it, Mr. Owusu? So this is a 7-year-old who doesn't want to get anything incorrect. And so even if they get 14 marks out of 15, they cry.
Very good. That particular student, I will say that I would love to have that particular student in my class.
Wow, man.
You are blessed with such an intelligent child. And it's good that he got that challenge of making the most grades or marks out of whatever the question may be. And that you can challenge that particular child. So perhaps she wants to do more. This kid is absolutely good. And I don't see anything that the parents should do to stop them from having a growth mindset. So what the parent can do here is to challenge the kid. If there's no needs, when I talk needs, there's any other emotional or physical or any needs, then I will recommend that the parent should find a way of challenging the student in terms of getting extra
A higher
challenge to make
grade.
higher grades. So
That's
it
what I was
looks like
thinking as well.
if he's getting 14 over 15 or maybe 15 over 20, that
Mhm.
particular student needs more challenge in the academic. And sometimes if you put ourselves in that child's shoes, it's like you. When you get mistakes, you are not happy with it. Sometimes
No,
we will be content with a little one we know. The child doesn't want a fixed mindset. You can see that she wants or he wants a growth mindset. And
definitely growth.
extra
Yeah,
challenge will help that particular
that
child to
particular
make
child. Mom
excellent
Marilyn said
progress.
he's my grandson. Mommy, you're blessed.
God
You're
bless you.
blessed. Some children, when they get things wrong, they actually do give up. Some will say, "No, no, no, I don't want to do it again," or
And
there's this fear that creeps up in you, like, "Oh my gosh, what if I do and I get it wrong again? I won't even try. This is not for me." But for him to, want to do well, wow. Like Mr. Wusu said, maybe try him on a year, because I know you used to do that with your children as well. You take them maybe a year higher and start giving them, or what do you think, giving them what's it called, maybe questions that are a year ahead of them, and see if maybe that would help them stretch. You'd be surprised, they might even be able to answer certain questions.
yeah, I just want to come in there. Sometimes you see when they get the grades and then they got some of them wrong, you need to explain to them that, look, those you got wrong, it's not actually the end of the world. You can work on that. That's what we call feedback. Work on that. Ask him or her, why did you get this wrong? It's because
Wow.
maybe I didn't do this right, and that is why I got it wrong. Next time,
Mm.
I'm going to work hard and get it right. And then next time, I want to challenge myself of doing something harder that will make me maybe better than what I'm getting now.
Mm.
So that is where you need to look at feedback. So let the person or the child reflect on where they got it wrong and say, look, this is why you got it wrong. And I promise you, if you work hard and look at what the answer is, you will get it right next time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Osu. Now, my next question to you, we've got about 2 or more, and then we'll be done. Today we'll be done on time. Woohoo. Okay, my next question is, how does our mindset affect our abilities to move forward?
Wow. Okay, very good question. Well, like I said, mindset is your mindset influences your outcomes. Okay, so whatever you are doing, it influences the outcome. It's like when you sow a good seed, you get good products or fruit, right? So your mindset, now it's important to understand that having a healthy mindset doesn't guarantee success. That's one thing I'm going to say here. If you got a healthy mindset, does it guarantee you success? Unfortunately, we don't control other people or many of our circumstances. So there are some things around us that we cannot control, or other people's ability to do something against us, we can't control that. But this is where it is at the moment. But the good thing is, succeeding in life requires a spiritual, healthy growth in mindset. Now, this is something that you can work on that, because if you look at the good Bible, it says in Romans chapter 12, verse number, is it 2? I don't know if I'm right. Romans chapter 12, verse number 2. And it says that do not be conformed to this world,
Okay.
but be transformed by the renewing of your mindset. And I want you to, if you got a pen or something like that somewhere, underline the key words here, renewing of your mindset.
Okay.
That you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Yes, I got it right. Perfect will of God. So here, what I'm trying to say is God has given us a renewing mind. Okay, so it's up to us to work on that so that we can accept and perfect the will of God. And what is the will of God? Now, that brings me back to the beginning with the music that you are playing. You say, love is peace. Okay, now, love, God loves us. That is too much. So if we have all of these renewing mind, a growth mindset, we can have peace. We can have the patience. We can have the joy that I talk about. So it is really important that we ensure that our mindset growth, and that can have a positive impact on our outcomes. I think that that
Okay.
answer your question? Yeah.
Okay. How does your mindset affect your ability to move forward? We have to make sure that we are not in a fixed mindset, but in a growth mindset. And
Yeah.
in that growth mindset, make sure you're renewing your mind all the time, meaning that you have to, your mind has to be on God and rely
Very
on
good.
Him.
Yeah.
And in Him, you have that peace to move forward. In Him, you have, what was the other word you used?
Well, you will
You have
have
the
that,
peace.
the peace, perfect will of God, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So you
To
have, what
move
do you call
forward.
it? Patience, joy. I'm just referring
And
to the means
everything
that
that
you started.
comes.
Yes, comes with it. Patience,
Okay.
joy. Yeah.
Okay, do not be conformed to this world. Now you are
Yeah.
going into spiritual. Okay, all right.
I mean,
Okay, Bishop,
just want to add that. I mean,
go on.
if you look at the Bible, it contains everything. So whatever we are talking about, this is also linked in the Bible. What it says about our mindset. I am glad that this is found in there. And even having a fixed mind is not the right thing to do. The Bible is saying renewing of your mindset that you may prove what is good and acceptable. So what is good to us is what? The peace, the patience. By having a good skill, that will bring you joy. By having a good understanding of how things work, that will bring you peace in your house. But if you
Okay,
have a fixed mind, these are something that you get, you feel like everything, you ignore all those criticism, and you believe that intelligence and skills and something you were born with cannot be developed.
thank you, Mr. Usu. You know what? It reminds me of what I've heard lots of pastors say in the beginning of the year, that you can, when you go to church, oh, you're blessed. The pastor will decree you're blessed. Then I grab it. You have all of these. Oh yes, yes, I am blessed. I am this. I am that. But I've always heard them say that if you keep the same old ways, then you are going to have the same results that you had the year before and the year before. And so it's definitely a mindset thing, that if you want to see a change in this year 2023, you have to have a mindset that is a growth mindset. You have to be ready to learn. You have to be ready to push yourself. Because I remember you said, for a growth mindset, it's not a mindset that you are content with where you are. You always have, you're ready for that new challenge. You're ready to break
Attitude.
out of your comfort zone. And I'm talking to myself while I'm talking. Hey, God help us. Okay, so that's how the mindset, can help you to move forward. When you have that growth mindset and not a fixed mindset, that you've heard all that God is saying, but then you have to move. You have to do something about it. Okay, okay. Okay, it reminds me, there were these little tips that I also got. Maybe I'll do it at the end. Let me ask you. Okay, we've actually already done it, and we are almost rounding up now. Mr. Usu, I will let you round it all up. And if hold on, I think Mama Marilyn says so. So can we say that a growth mindset is teachable? Yeah, go on.
Very good. Excellent thoughts. Growth mindset is teachable. It's not something that you can say that you cannot teach it. You cannot adapt it. It's something that we need to adapt. It's like an attitude, mental attitude. We can develop it. It's like a skill that you can develop. It's something that we need to learn it, and then it be part of our lifestyle, because that is what is making you who you are. Like I said from the beginning, it
Yeah.
makes you who you are. So you can learn that. And please, I will encourage you from today, if you are listening to us and you really want this to have a positive impact in yourself, I'll encourage you to start from somewhere. It might not be something big, but small steps, like I said. And there will be setbacks. I'll tell you, there will be setbacks, but that setback gives you the opportunity to reflect on that and then alleviate yourself or evaluate yourself, and then so seek help for you to know what is right and wrong so that you don't repeat those mistakes. So it
No.
is all these setbacks that people learn from, and that is what makes us get access to those setbacks, to learn from it, to develop ourselves. So that's excellent question from
Mama Marilyn.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. 52. I'm going to make sure that we're going to finish on time today. Mr. Usu, thank you so much. I know you take a sip of water, and I think I'll give you just one more minute. You know, if you've got anything more to say just before we finish, we'll finish in the next 5 minutes. But maybe I think you've actually already said it while I was doing my due diligence, you know, for the topic we're talking about today, the mindset. It is a very, 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 very important thing, not just, you know, in the physical, or just not in your career, even in our work with God. If you have this fixed mindset, you'll be stuck at one place. You'll be stuck at one place, and you think God is not doing anything for you or for your home. No, it's only because you are not moving. It's only because God was asking you to do something, and you thought, no, my comfort zone is to stay here, not to, you know, take one more step. God, I choose to, I want to stay here. But maybe the blessing is when you take one more step. That's when you're going to, you know, have your blessing. So it's not just in the physical. Let me see. I think you've actually already gone through this, because I wrote down we have to, for us to move from that fix to the growth, seek out challenges that push us out of our comfort zone, which you have already said. And this affirmation things, I don't know if it's a good thing that helps us as well, because, you know, the more you read these positive affirmations, and, you know, ones that are based on scriptures, Bible says words are words, the words we speak are spirit and they are life. So the more you speak it into your mind, I had someone also talking about this mindset thing, and they were saying that instead of saying I will, you know, do something, no, what was he saying? He said I am. Like, say it like it's in the present tense. You will do it. Not that, don't make it sound like you will do it later. Tell yourself I have to do this, you know. And he said it was also one of the ways by which you can break out of that fixed mindset. Oh yeah, here we go. One of the ways you can move from fixed to growth was pay attention to the language you speak. The language you speak. He said, instead of saying I should walk in the morning, say I will walk in the morning. He says, when we speak with solution focused language, this is the word. When we speak with solution-focused language, we are more likely to experience growth. He said growth is more likely to occur if self-talk is encouraging and not demeaning. For you to move again from that fix to the growth, you have to be someone who don't look down on yourself. Don't. Hey, in this family, nobody has ever made it to be a doctor. In this family, all I can see is people just, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, you know, to work in KFC or a chicken shop or something. Listen, some children do it as summer jobs, you know, just to move on. But don't belittle yourself. Don't look down on yourself that nobody in this family has ever reached it, and so there's no way I can do it. And so in your mind, you've closed, even though God, you know, maybe God to a prophet has told you that I can see your child, you know, working in the what's it called, medical field, working in the judiciary. You're like, what? You know, this family, I beg, we are full of farmers. How can you say that? You have to break out of it. That's what they're saying. Pay attention to your language, connect with your values. And the last thing was learn from your mistakes. He says, and the mistakes of others, not just yours. Sometimes when you hear the mistakes of others, it is something that you have to learn, you know, just for you to also grow out of where you are. So, Mr. Usu, just 1 minute. If you've got anything more to add to this mindset thing, just 1 minute, and then I'll round up and we'll be done for today.
Very good. We actually have said everything that I would like to add to
that. Sorry.
So I like the part that you talk about, speaking to God. And you remember when we were talking about this program, I did mention about some of the signs that you see, and I said your focus, eyes reverted on God and His will all the time. So this is something that we need to look at. So I would say spiritual growth mindset. You need to link it with God. I mean, with prayers, through struggles, through progress, setbacks, trials, and blessings, I think you can make it. Also, you need to understand that when you are going through the growth mindset, there will be setbacks. Okay? There will be challenges. But hey, growth mindset understand obstacles along the way. Therefore, I'd like to encourage you, like I said, link it with your Christian life. And see what God can do. Please, when you fall down, don't say that is it. I can't do it. One step at a time. Thankfulness, even when it's hard, you still have to thank God for every situation. Okay? And then keep on working hard on your targets. And I think through Christ Jesus, everything will be okay.
Amen. Amen, Bishop. Sorry, I'm being silly. Thank you so much. The last thing I had was growth mindset understands challenges. When you have a growth mindset, it doesn't mean that you're not going to go through certain things, but don't let that stop you. Rather, let that push you to even want to attain that higher level even more. And so hopefully with all you have heard today, you will be pushed to achieve whatever it is. Maybe the Lord himself told you that this is what you're supposed to achieve for the year 2023. Don't look down on yourself and tell yourself, hey, God said that by the end of 2023, I will finish my course. And you're thinking, hey, God, I didn't even finish my GSEs. How am I going to be a lawyer before the end of this year, or in 2 years, or in 3 years? If God has said it, it means that you've got those abilities in you. So stop looking down on yourself. And another thing I learned tonight is, as a parent, the way you speak, the way your mindset is, it rubs off on your children. And so let's be careful and mindful as parents, the type of mindsets we have, because our children will look at us and they will learn and toe the same line. And so thank you so much, Mr. Owusu. Thank you so much. I know you're a very busy man. And so thank you so much for taking time out to come and share this wisdom with us. I really pray and hope that he has been a blessing to someone. I want to thank everyone that joined me tonight. Mama Marilyn, oh, I so appreciate you. Thank you so much. Reverend Dr. Doreen Cutter, I salute. Thank you so much. Mama Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate all your help and all your support. I saw my twin from America, Laurentia. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Let me see who else. Let me give a shout out. I want to make sure I acknowledge everyone. I know there are other people that I don't see, like Reverend Pell. I greet you. I know you are on there somewhere. Oh, thank you, IT team. I know you are on there somewhere, but you don't comment, so I don't see you, but I know you're there. Reverend Pearl, I greet you. Thank you so much for joining us, and hello to the twins. My brother Prince Chase said, I shall never ever look down on myself. Never do. You have a growth mindset. Nana Raba, hey, hello. My sister from another mother, from the United States of Cape Coast. Hey, thank you. She said, keep saying it, keep confessing it, keep at it. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't happen for you, it will happen for your kids. I love this. I believe it. So true. So true. Mama Marilyn said, well said. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you. Okay, and so that's about it. Thank you so much. I think I saw someone, Prince Che, shout out to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I think I saw a different name. It was a Prince Che, and someone else that our sister Phyllis Bridget. Thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you being on the set with us. Nana, okay, I've read what Nana Araba said. So to sum it all up, this I call it my little info corner. Okay, so if you are, I know there's a lot of people that are struggling. Mr. Also, thank you so much. If you want to go off, it's fine, or if you want to stay with me for just one more minute, I'll be done and we'll both go. But if you have to go, because I know you're a busy man, it's all right. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so for my info corner, I just wanted to tell everyone, if you live in the UK and you are struggling with rent, please go on the gov.uk, because the government has given out this amount of money to help those who are struggling to pay their rent. It's called the Rent Support Fund. Please write this down. Rent Support Fund. If you're struggling to pay your rent, it says if you do not qualify for housing benefit or for universal credit, the government has introduced a 1 million fund. Please don't let the government take this money back. If you're struggling, go and check on there. Type your details in there, see if you qualify for it, and take that money. Thank you very much. He said it's called the Rent Support Fund. That's it. So the government has introduced a 1 million fund, rent support fund, to help those who are in financial difficulties. Please go on the government website, gov.uk, and type in Rent Support Fund and see the qualifications. And if you qualify for it, Charlie, you have cool. I think it's almost 600 and something in your pocket. Is yours. Take it, and I pray that it will help everyone. Have a blessed evening. I want to thank the Holy Spirit. Without him, there's nothing we can do. He gives us the wisdom to do what we do. So I thank the Holy Spirit. I thank Mr. Owusu for joining us this evening. Hey, very good section. Hey, Pastor Pearl, today you have come on, I've seen you put a comment. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for joining us. So I want to thank Reverend Dr. Doreen Carter. I want to thank Mr. Usu for coming and sharing his wisdom with us as well. And I want to thank you. Without you, there'll be no Greystone Show, because I'll just come and speak to the camera. God willing, next week, we're here again, and we will have someone who will come to speak to us on finances. Mama Comfort, thank you so much for joining us. She said amen. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. So God willing, before we go, I always have to say this, because this is the foundation on which this show is built, that we put God back in our home. Remember, if you put God in the center of your home, he becomes like a glue and he holds all your family together. If God is in the center, this is a popular saying we all hear, the center definitely does hold. So remember to put God right in the middle of your family, right in the middle of your home. And with him, even though the journey will have bumps, here and there, God has your back. Have a blessed evening.
Your love is kind. Your love is patient. You fill my heart with so much peace and joy. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh. Too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Your love is kind. Your love is patient. You fill my heart with so much peace and joy. You're amazing. You make my life feel brand new. All your promises are yes and amen. You're not a man, you never lie. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, excess love, oh. Jesus, you love me too much, oh. Too much, oh, too much, oh, much, oh, excess love. Your love for me too much, too much, oh, excess love. Too much, oh, Jesus, you love me, oh, that you gave your life for me. What manner of love is this? What manner of love is this that you give it all for me, oh God? Jesus, you love me. You love me. You love me. Jesus, you love me too much. Jesus, you love me too much. Who am I that you're mindful of me? Who am I that you gave it all for me? Jesus, you love me too much. Too much. Excess love. Jesus, you love me too much. You love me too much. Unconditional love you ever me. Eloi, Eloi, my Sabbath. You say it all for me. Thank you for loving me too much. Unconditionally. Thank you for loving me too much. Thank you for loving me